I just for one like to say I'm the biggest fan of Call of Duty. I know all the new games a year before anyone, so I heard of a new Black Ops 2. I really loved the Black Ops series, so I decided to find people who had it. Then later, on a Treyarch chat room, someone told me they will give me a free beta copy of the game. He gave me his address, and I drove there as soon as possible. The house seemed rather uneasy or unsettling. I didn't really want to be there, so I went quick. I knocked, and he answered. "You're the gamer, right?" he said. I responded with a yes, and he gave the copy. Then he immediately closed the door. I went to my home and put the copy in my computer. The only thing in that CD was, however, an installer. When I clicked it, it turned into this ghetto devilish-like installer. Some new I somehow recognized, since I pirated Postal 2 one time and it was the same installer. All the instructions were in Russian, so I had to put it in Google Translate. It seemed clear with minor errors. Eventually, it was installed. The installer disappeared off the CD and replaced it with callofduty.exe. I was confused because you could not uninstall it, and there was no file such as the original COD games. Plus, Steam did not recognize it, considering Steam sort of has an advantage of seeing early stuff. I proceeded to play it, and the Treyarch and Activision logo menu came up such as usual. When I reached the menu screen, the only options were campaign and zombies. I was confused. Why isn't multiplayer there? But I guess it's still in beta, so I resumed to play campaign. The cutscenes was two soldiers going into this retirement home, or called Vault 101, and went in a room, expecting in the trailer there was woods. Instead, there was nothing but feet at first, facing the ceiling. Then the soldiers looked up and cried. The ceiling was, however, not in that little view, and they were begging for mercy and freedom. The cutscenes faded up to black, and I suddenly started playing. No one was there though. It was a desert-like scenario, and I used my scope on my gun that is called 666 DSR. I saw a default player model. No animations, but moving. The model was a African rebel soldier. I noticed it was coming towards me even though it was at far distance. Sort of 1 mile or maybe 2. The figure then appeared right in front of me as soon as I looked back. But then it faded to black. I was then in a nuclear fallout scenario. I saw a North Korean flag, which I knew today North Koreans are trying to nuke the US. Why would Treyarch do such a thing? I was then attacked by 4 soldiers with what looked like knives. I was then in cutscenes where all the characters we know, Mason, Woods, Reznov, and more, are decapitated slowly by a man wearing black. The players were breathing heavily, and they were breaking the 4th wall and asking to help and save them. I was thinking the characters were trapped in the game, or they were actual humans that are trapped in there. I immediately tried to close the game, but it would not let me. I'm screwed. It took me to the menu, and it was changed. Now the options were all just gibberish. I decided I should turn off the computer and realized what just happened. Then after 2 hours, I proceeded. It was 4:44 a.m. I chose the first option, and it was a video of a child around the age of 5 being eaten alive by a man dressed in black again. The leftovers were burned with measures were burned, and the kid was put through a stick. The screen closed up on the child's face. He was scared and confused. The video ended and it went back up to the menu. The menu only had one option, which was play, in capital letters. I chose it, scared of what will happen. Then it was a picture of all the characters from the past and horribly deformed faces. Then the faces started to melt, slowly, such as a piece of ice. A text came in bold letters saying, "Why?" Then the game crashed with an error message saying, "2-pack will never die." The desktop shortcut disappeared and was replaced with more gibberish. I was too much into this and needed to know what was this. I clicked it and I really do not want to say what happened. All I will say is, though, that I will regret clicking that for the rest of my life. I am forever haunted by this game. I'm in an asylum now. I will never see the outside world ever again, waiting for my life to end.